Stop the karma. Wow, wow, wow. That was an absolutely incredible session. The speaker reinforced the idea that I've been pondering over for many moons. How to stop karma. For you weeks ago, I was talking to my twin friend John, who has also been meditating for over 50 years. We both love to meditate. For us, it's like a hobby. I asked my brother if he ever experienced the state of being in heaven, yet the mind is in hell. He said, unfortunately, he has. I know there must be a way out of this rabbit hole. A few sessions ago, I got the answer that I was looking for. Today's session reinforced that wisdom. The gist of the matter is, if you want to stop the flow of karma in your life, you must turn off the faucet. It's as simple as that. When the body and mind are totally relaxed. I used to surf a lot when I was young. My brother and I loved to surf big waves. With big waves comes the challenge to surviving a wipeout. Surfers learn to surrender to the waves when they wipe out. The wave will dictate to you when you can come to the surface. What does that mean in my life? One can surrender and let go and be totally relaxed. Have not a care in the world. This, my friend, will turn off karma forever. This is a grand truth. The speaker presented the idea of being a revolution. I totally agree with this. I even have a website called Revolution of Love. Imagine if the whole world learns how to surrender to the soul inside. We really would be in an entirely different state altogether. I call it the revolution because once man understands he has the capability to stop karma in his life and embrace the soul and liberation, this planet will heal. I love her story of having her all-time dream job. Her job was working for so many startup companies. She initially thought she would never get bored. Yet, unfortunately, no matter how incredible your dream job is, eventually you will get bored with it. You see, nothing external is permanent. The mind eventually will get bored with what you are doing. I loved her story, how she transformed her life from living a life external focus to a focus of living for moksha and liberation. Common sense is uncommon. That is my motto. She spun it in such a beautiful way. The world thinks that she is sane, yet it's in a state of craziness. Modern society thinks the mystics of the old were crazy. Why would anybody want to live a life like that? They have no idea what they're talking about. Inside each individual is a precious jewel. To be honest, this was the first talk where my wife and I could completely understand every word that she was talking about. It was my language of a soul talking to a soul. I learned this form of communication while in India 50 years ago. They call it satsang. Satsang is the company of truth. They say, you are the company that you keep. Tell me who you keep company with, and I will tell you who you are. I attended satsang every night for around 15 years. When she talked, she put me in that incredible state of awareness. This was the first lecture I didn't have to go over and decipher what she was talking about. I see there are many different teaching styles. I find it amusing. I couldn't answer one single question in every lecture that I had heard so far. You see, I'm not very good at figuring and understanding the Indian terms. So after each lecture, the next day, I would Google the slide topic and see what they were talking about. Then I could take all the pieces of the puzzle and see the puzzle. I never was that ambitious in school to doing this. Well, I couldn't do that anyway because the internet wasn't even invented until the early 1990s. You see, I have great long-term memory, but not very good at short-term memory. But yet, if the lecture from a state of satsang and lets the wisdom flow, somehow that goes directly into my mind, body, and soul. I remember when I was young, I couldn't comprehend these mental abstracts and theories. It was all over my head. Today, it is an integral part of my life. I could get completely frustrated if I was in some state of awareness when I was a kid, listening to these great talks that are given. I understand this. That is how wisdom has been given in India for many moons. There are so many different ways for learning to occur. The reason why I took this class was synchronicity. It came my way right at the perfect time. I wasn't going to let an obstacle get in my way. My wife and I know that each lecture would be challenging and we wouldn't understand a thing because of the Indian terminology. But we know that if we stuck with it and looked behind the scenes, they would make total sense. This is why I wrote and I'm writing the book. I'm hoping someday this could be a roadmap for many Westerners who would simply drop the subject immediately upon hearing the first lecture. This 18-day celebration is changing my life in such an incredible way. I feel so great that the missing piece of the puzzle was placed inside of me so I could see the entire puzzle. I often say signposts are all around, yet do we have the eyes to see? Sometimes, after hearing the same thing over and over again, the rock finally cracks. The speaker gave the analogy of water dropping over a rock. After a considerable amount of time, the rock slowly cracked open. Nobody knows when that will happen. Just think, we all know how to stop karma. We all know we should turn off the faucet of karma. Yet, we are unable to do so. We have faith and truth, and by putting in the effort, somehow a realization comes in. One truly understands how to turn off the faucet of karma. This is a mystical experience that cannot be conveyed in words or spoken about. Let go and totally relax. It seems to be happy. One must surrender to the wave of life. Each one of us will fall off the surfboard in life and experience a great wipeout. Only by surrendering and relaxing can we come to the surface. The world at large is so stressed out. The speaker did an incredible job of talking about that. We think that external things will make us happy. We try to control the situations around us. We try to change the people around us. I love the story of how when she was young, she taught youngsters these concepts. Some got them and some didn't. She got very frustrated by the fact she tried to explain it in so many different ways. You can't change anybody and make them understand. She eventually learned the lesson that the only person she can change was herself. They say you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink. When I was in India, I heard about this story, but the clincher is that you can put salt in their food. This was the first presentation that didn't have any slides, not a single one. I find it ironic that I remember so much of her talk. It truly resonated with me. I understood the message she was saying and completely resonated with it. I feel like I wasn't born in this great culture, so I shouldn't complain. I'm not used to this learning process. It's been working this way for thousands of years. But I must admit, I have a different chemistry set altogether. My hardware, software, and operating systems are different. Each one of us is custom designed. I'm so glad that yesterday's lecture was so incredible. She offered insights into solving the piece of the puzzle inside. To sum it up, calm is letting go of control of all things in your life. When you try to control anything, you will be disappointed. Karma will accumulate, whether it is good karma or bad karma, it doesn't matter. Only by neutralizing karma one can achieve the liberation of the soul. In this state, one is in harmony with nature and the universe. We try to control our lives, and so we can be happy people. Unfortunately, in this world, many people lie and cheat to go to the top. Yet even if you had $1 trillion, you would not be happy forever. When we are accumulating karma, one will never be truly happy. Happiness only exists when one is in harmony with your soul. During these troubled times, this message is hard to get through to humanity. I'm so grateful for these 15 days we are talking about how to be truly liberated from this world. I'm constantly amazed by the depths of Jane's knowledge and wisdom.